football player in general.
Aaron Polavoy tackles concussions head-on.
The survey, who asked to remain anonymous.
And a study examines how high-protein diets can affect women. Those stories and more tonight on Murrow News 8.
From Studio B on the campus of Washington State University, this is Pullman's only nightly newscast. This is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Abby Lushai.
And I'm Sierra Brown. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Washington State University may become a sanctuary for undocumented students. The WSU chapter of the American Association of Professors wants the university to adopt a petition banning U.S. immigration agents from campus and denying immigration officials student information. There are currently 30 universities across the nation designated as sanctuaries. President Kirk Schulz is in support, stating WSU offers life-changing college experiences to our undocumented students as authorized by the state. Murrow News 8 will be covering the march tomorrow.
A recent study shows that there may be a link between hormonal birth control and depression. Murrow News 8 reporter Carly Tinsley looked further into this study.
Since birth control made its way onto the market nearly 60 years ago, women have turned to it for contraception. But recently, a new study published in JAMA Psychiatry found that there may be a possible link between women who take hormonal birth control and antidepressant use. The Danish researchers measured depression in women by diagnosis at a psychiatric hospital and filing a prescription for antidepressants. I decided to do some research of my own. I emailed out a survey to 100 women on WSU's campus. I found that 48% said they had experienced depression while on the pill and 20% had been prescribed antidepressants. I sat down and spoke with two girls from the survey who asked to remain anonymous.
6 months after I got it, my anxiety went through the roof, and my family couldn't really pinpoint to what it was, and it took a while for me to realize, like, oh, that's kind of the time when I got this new form of birth control. I struggle with anxiety and depression, and last year was prescribed antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicine.
To better understand how birth control affects the body, I stopped by Palouse Psychiatry. I sat down with nurse practitioner Deborah Blazard, who says she actually prescribes birth control as a mood stabilizer.
It might be that my patient had several failures of antidepressant medications or anti-anxiety meds. And really it goes by history. Does the depression come like a week before their period? Is it cyclic? That will help me know if I should prescribe some birth control or not.
Recently, there was a trial done studying the male birth control shot. It showed that the injection was 96% effective in preventing pregnancy by lowering sperm counts. But what's interesting about this study was that it was discontinued early, researchers say, because of side effects such as mood changes, depression, and pain at the injection site.
When I heard, oh, like guys can have birth control like that, I was like, yeah, like sweet, like it's not going to be our sole responsibility anymore. And then now I'm seeing, oh, they're stopping it because they're feeling a little bit of just a gist of what we feel.
Now, the researchers from the Denmark study noted that this association does not mean that birth control alone causes depression, but that women respond differently to the hormones, and those differences are not well understood yet. And a male birth control shot may be a little farther out than expected. For both, there is simply much more research that needs to be done. Reporting for Murrow News 8, I'm Carly Tinsley.
President-elect Donald Trump has taken a strong pro-life stance throughout his campaign. Now it has led to legal action. The ACLU and Planned Parenthood have opened 3 lawsuits to overturn current abortion laws in North Carolina, Missouri, and Alaska. The lawsuits will challenge the state's bans on abortion after 20 weeks and abortions performed after the first trimester of pregnancy.
A balanced diet is an important aspect of anyone's health. A new study indicates that a high-protein diet might not be the best thing for older women. Murrow News 8 reporter Amber Respachan has tips to stay fit in tonight's Health Minute.
Every year. From gluten-free to vegan, researchers are constantly studying how nutrition can affect our health. A recent study found that women older than 50 who eat high-protein meat diets could have a greater risk of heart failure. The study examined the protein intake of over 100,000 women ages 50 to 79 over a 5-year period. All participants were free of heart failure prior to the study. However, about 1,700 women developed the heart disease by the 5th year. Researchers attributed this to the high-protein meat diet the women followed. This could be linked to the molecular makeup of animal protein. Meat protein can turn into toxic molecules, which can affect the heart's functions and lead to serious health problems down the road. On the contrary, people who eat high vegetable proteins, such as spinach, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts, have a significantly lower risk of heart disease. While the study shed some light on how older women can improve their health, further research is still needed to determine whether the results are linked to the molecular makeup of animal protein, life choices, family genes, or other factors. For Murrow News 8, I'm Amber Respichon.
The snow from this morning has melted, but it's still pretty chilly outside.
Haley Paul will tell us if more snow is on its way. Stay tuned.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers' dirty looks. School's out for summer. School's out forever. School's out with fever. School's out completely.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. And it can happen in every place.
School's out for summer.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
Welcome back. I'm Haley Paul with your weather update. Looking at today's temperatures, this morning we woke up with a little bit of snow dusting the ground and cars, but it didn't last long because the temperatures were reaching a high of about 41 degrees, so the snow didn't last long. Into tomorrow's temperature or forecast, we see similar today how the snow was in a little bit in the morning, but it won't last long throughout the day either. Looking statewide on the east side, Spokane was very similar to Pullman as their temperatures were also about 40 degrees with snow in the morning, but it melted throughout the day. In Wenatchee, they saw some rain showers because the temperature wasn't cold enough for the snow to fall, but maybe in the coming days it will be. Down in Yakima, the Palm Springs of the state with a high of 54 degrees, so they saw sunshine throughout the day. On the west side, in typical west side fashion, there was rain throughout the coast. As you can see, temperatures ranging from 50 to 49 degrees. Looking into the 5-day forecast, you can see snow on Friday, Sunday, and Monday with sunshine and clouds in between. Temperatures starting next week, it's going to dip down into the low 30s and high 20s, so going to start bundling up for that. Coming up after the break, WSU football player Cole Madison gets some national recognition. Stay tuned.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
The weather might be cooling down, but the sports world is heating up. I'm Cody Callanan with sports. Let's get started. The Cougars have numerous players recognized for their outstanding achievements this year. After all, it takes an entire team to win a game. This week, Pro Football Focus announced Cole Madison as the top-graded offensive tackle in college football. Madison allowed just 2 sacks out of 648 pass block snaps this year. But while Cole Madison keeps Luke Falk safe, football's violent nature is leading some to walk away from the sport due to increasing concussion concerns. Murrow News 8's Aaron Polifoy tackles the concussion debate.
Football, it's one of the most popular sports in the country, and its selling factor is violence. Face it, people get excited when somebody lays a big hit on an opponent. However, growing concerns surrounding concussions in CTE, or chronic traumatic encephalopathy, in football have had players rethinking their decisions to play. Just ask Indiana Hoosiers quarterback Xander Diamond, who retired earlier this week, citing concussion concerns.
To be honest, I've had a lot of concussions over the course of my career, a lot of which were in high school. With the way that I play at my size, I'm not going to start being the guy who slides and steps out of bounds, and that's just not my style, and if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out my way.
Zone 39, Simeon gives to Bibbs. Good run up the middle. The 46-yard line, big stick by Eric Berry, who came up and
Whether it's high school, college, or professional football, concussions are seemingly more prevalent today. For Pullman High School football coach Dan Lucier, preventing concussions begins during the offseason in the weight room.
We really like to come from the standpoint of prevention, you know, and the way that we lift in the weight room to the drills that we do on the practice field, you know, keeping our head out of football and leading with our shoulder and those types of things. So everything that we do in the foundation that we start with starts with trying to protect the head and protect the football player in general.
After high school comes college ball, and here at Washington State, players have certainly taken their fair share of hits. Team physician Dennis Garcia has been along the Cougar sidelines for nearly 2 decades and ran me through what exactly the concussion protocol is.
What is your just understanding of CTE and also concussions, and how you evaluate concussions on the football field?
We'll put you through some provocative tests, you know, run you up and down the sideline, make sure you can function normally, and again, give you brain quizzes. We'll ask you to do things like count or state the months backwards, starting with like December.
Yes, players wear protective gear like pads and helmets, but even those can't prevent life-threatening injuries and concussions from taking place on the football field. So I asked fellow Washington State students one critical question: would they allow their future children to play the violent sport of football?
Yeah, I think I would, because there's a lot of risks in life, and I think if you're doing something that you love, there's a high risk for injury in a lot of things that people do, and I just think that you can't live your life in fear of what might happen.
Yeah, I would also let my son play football. I played football a little bit when I was growing up, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a good way to grow as a person.
It's impossible to deny that a sport like football has no relationship to traumatic head injuries. The next important step is educating players about the right way to tackle and the correct way to take a hit in order to prevent future concussions from occurring. Reporting for Murrow News 8, I'm Aaron Polifoy.
Coming up, if you love coffee, you might be excited to hear what will be coming to WSU. Don't go away.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
If you rely on caffeine to get you through your day, you are in luck. WSU is getting its first full Starbucks store on campus. Located in the new digital classroom building, the store will offer a full menu of Starbucks food, drinks, and products. To be a part of the staff, baristas must complete 40 hours of training and receive Starbucks certification. The store is expected to be open August 2017. That's all the news we have for you tonight.
Join us every weeknight at 7 and 10 o'clock, and don't forget to follow us.